Hey guys, I'm Andrew Henderson from Nomad Capitalist, nomadcapitalist.com, the world's most visited website for aspiring global citizens who want to lower their taxes, increase their freedom, keep more of their money. Also the author of this book on Amazon called Nomad Capitalist. And in today's video, I wanted to talk about how to get a second passport through cryptocurrency. We've had a lot of folks over the last year and a half come to us here at Nomad Capitalist. We have helped a number of them. We're in the process of helping even more. People who are early adopters of crypto or who have crypto assets they think are going to go up in value and they want to get a second passport, either as a plan A for giving up their current citizenship or as a plan B for just protecting them in general. And I think that's something that every crypto investor should do. Obviously, US citizens have a certain greater need for this, in my opinion, for a number of reasons. But honestly, if you're in crypto and you plan to be in crypto, investing and trading, I think everyone needs a second passport. We talk about that in other videos here in the channel. But the question that's come up occasionally is, can I pay for a citizenship with my cryptocurrency? And I'm going to answer that. I'm going to share, as always, some of the nuance that kind of goes into how I feel about this. Let me first explain the two different potential paths for getting a relatively prompt second citizenship. We have citizenship by investment programs. You're probably familiar with these in St. Kitts and Nevis, Dominica, other countries. We'll talk about those in a moment. You also have what I would call fast-track naturalization programs. We did a video called Get Paid to Get a Passport, where you can invest in real estate, in various assets, in bonds, in whatever, companies, many different things. And you can get put to the front of the line, basically, to get a citizenship quickly. So for some people, that may make more sense. Generally, the investments in those programs are more expensive than the donations for the CBI program. So for a crypto investor looking to make big returns with their crypto, it may not make sense. But in theory, with these programs, you could say, hey, I'm going to buy, $300,000 of real estate. And if the seller of that real estate will accept your cryptocurrency, then in theory, yes, you could quote unquote buy that passport because you're making the requisite investment in crypto. And then you just have to pay the legal fees and other costs in fiat currency. I think most crypto investors are not as well served by those programs because, again, while you get to retain a lot more of the cash, there's a lot more cash you have to put out in many cases, which means less cash to put in crypto that you may believe is going up. So citizenship by investment, these are programs where there are a number of ways to do it, but generally people want to make the donation. And again, if you're a crypto investor, that lower price donation probably makes most sense for you. It starts at $100,000. St. Lucia, which is a program that I've been through, other Caribbean programs offer this. But one country that's gotten attention recently is Vanuatu. Vanuatu has come out and said, we're going to accept Bitcoin as payment for our citizenship by investment program. The challenge in Vanuatu, coming from someone who was there last year working with some high-level people who invited me, is that Vanuatu's program is confusing. Vanuatu actually has several programs that offer like an honorary citizenship. It's not like totally the real thing. I mean, it's a citizenship, but it's honorary, and there's certain weird minor restrictions with that. And so I think that Vanuatu is an okay program. There are certainly people whom I trust who administer the program. So for a limited number of people who have come to work with me, I have actually recommended Vanuatu. In the average case, I probably wouldn't. But Vanuatu accepts cryptocurrency. Now, does that mean that because you have cryptocurrency, this is the program for you? The challenge that I think people get into when they're researching this stuff is that they get attracted to the shiny objects and they lose sight of the end result. This is the number one thing that I try and get everyone who I personally work with to understand is we've got to get to an end result. The end result's what matters. How we get there, so long as it's legal, so long as it's efficient, so long as it's just as quick, that doesn't matter, right? And so what people do is they say, oh, I have crypto, so let me buy the passport that accepts crypto. Well, there are different Vanuatu programs. The people that I would trust, you'd pay about $200,000, including the legal fees, including the government-mandated agent fee, and then the actual donation. Most of that, if not potentially even all of that, could be paid via crypto. So $200,000. for one person. Now you go over to, let's say, St. Lucia or Dominica. These countries charge a $100,000 donation. There are some government fees, and then you would pay someone, whether it's like me or whether somebody on the ground, to actually help you facilitate that application. But if we just compare donation to donation, 100 grand to 170 grand, you're going to pay 70% more for the Vanuatu passport, which in my opinion is just a bit more confusing. It's not quite as transparent. It's not quite as solid. And it may not have quite as good visa-free travel. Minor differences, but still you're going to get a bit less visa-free travel. So you're paying a 70% premium for a product that at best is the same, at worst is actually a bit inferior, all because they take Bitcoin. Well, you know, if you have no other way to turn your Bitcoin into anything else, that's great, but there are a number of offshore solutions that we work with all the time where you can take your Bitcoin and go through a two-step process to move it into fiat currency and then make the payment from your own bank account to St. Lucia, to Dominica, to wherever else. The other benefit that the other programs have over Vanuatu is that, generally speaking, Vanuatu wants you to put the cash up front. And having worked with crypto investors, I know that maintaining as much liquidity as possible is important because of the potential volatility and the potential benefit of that volatility in the market. And so the idea of being able to hold on to your cash for 4 or 5 months more or longer, to me, seems like an extra benefit. So you're paying a 70% premium, just in this rough example, as a single person, for Vanuatu, when in reality there are other ways to take that fiat or that crypto and put it into fiat. Ways that, quite frankly, for the average Bitcoin investor, I think actually make a lot of sense, because from a holistic level, beyond just getting a second passport, having a good bank account that actually works as part of your global strategy is important. So if everything you're doing right now is in crypto, and that's why you want to pay in crypto, I actually think from an operational standpoint, especially if you're giving up your current citizenship, having your banking infrastructure set up now is going to be more important. So in which case, getting that money out of crypto into a bank and then sending it off to the citizenship country is an added benefit. So the answer to the question, can I get a citizenship by investment with my cryptocurrency, is yes. There have been, as I know, a few cases in Vanuatu that have been approved. The process there is relatively quick, maybe even about a month or so quicker than other countries in the Caribbean, which I think for most people is probably nominal and could be replicated, such as through the St. Kitts Rush option. So, yes, it is theoretically possible, but when someone comes to me and says, hey, Andrew, here's what I want to accomplish. I have crypto. I don't want to be a U.S. citizen anymore. It's causing me a lot of grief. They have so many laws about crypto. I like the U.S., but I want to be out. That's our goal. Our goal is to solve those pain points. And when we start chasing after little shiny objects, that's when we get dragged down. That's when we get confused. That's when we start wasting money. That's when we start delaying. And that's when we get further and further away from that end result that we want. So to simply say, yes, Vanuatu accepts cryptocurrency is correct. But if there's this much extra effort involved in a legal workaround to get a product that's higher in quality and less expensive, who cares? Now, if you want to find out more about second passports, if you want to find out more about my thoughts on being a global citizen as a crypto investor, you definitely want to subscribe to our channel. We have tens of thousands of people who subscribe here on YouTube, and we have lots of new content coming out all the time. So definitely click the subscribe button before you go. Now, if you're looking for more advanced solutions, you can definitely go to nomadcapitalist.com. We've got well over 1,000 articles there that you can read, including a lot of information about passports, about crypto, about all that kind of stuff. So definitely check it out on nomadcapitalist.com as well.